The Redmi Note series has for long been Xiaomi's most successful line. In fact, it's been successful enough for Xiaomi to spin Redmi off as a sub-brand. Now, I have been spending quite some time with the Redmi Note 9 Pro as my primary smartphone, and well, in today's video, I'm gonna give you my thoughts on what's to like and dislike about this new Redmi Note. Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and if you do end up liking what you see in this video, please subscribe and turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get started. Guys, we are giving away a Redmi Note 9 Pro. If you've not checked out that giveaway, I'll leave information to it in the description below. Please do check it out. Now pick up the Redmi Note 9 Pro and you notice two things. First, the phone has a certain heft to it since it weighs around 210 grams. And despite the 8.8mm thickness, it doesn't feel too thick in hand. Now the other thing you'd notice is that in hand, the feel, it's better than what you should probably be getting from a 13,000 rupee phone. This is a glass back, Corning's Gorilla Glass 5, and I like how it reflects light. The camera module's got 4 sensors in it, and we'll get to that in good time. The entire phone is covered by a P2i nano coating, so there is some sort of water resistance. The sides are plastic though, but to the front, we again have Corning's Gorilla Glass 5. The bezels are quite slim, even the chin's not too large. There's a punch hole to the top center, and here we have a 16 megapixel sensor with a f2.5 lens. It shoots reasonably good images. I like the detail. I'm also a fan of the extra modes. The movie mode, for example, with the letterboxing, the kaleidoscope that Redmi's brought with it. The portraits also came out quite well. The edge detection, it was reasonably good. Let's now talk about that display. This here is a 6.67-inch IPS LCD panel. The resolution, Full HD+. Redmi's changed the aspect ratio, it's 20:9, so we have a little lesser black bars when watching movies. The speaker output's loud and clean. The audio via the headphone jack's pretty decent too. So nothing to complain here. Watching videos, the experience, it was good. When playing games on the screen, that's when you might miss the higher refresh rates. The competition, the Realme 6 for example, has a 90Hz refresh rate, and that adds a little bit of extra smoothness to the gaming experience. But refresh rates apart, this seems to be a good rich panel with excellent viewing angles. Under the hood, Redmi has gone with the Snapdragon 720G. This seems to not really be an upgrade over the Redmi Note 8 Pro's Helio G90T. Now, globally, Redmi sells this phone as the Redmi Note 9S. And that nomenclature makes a lot more sense. The 720G is most definitely a major upgrade over the last Note S phone. The Redmi Note 7S with its Snapdragon 660, or even the Redmi Note 8 and its Snapdragon 665. So if Redmi had called this the Redmi Note 9S in India, then the whole confusion could have been avoided. But given a price-sensitive market like India, I guess Redmi felt it was easier to say they were dropping the price of the Redmi Note Pro lineup than say they were hiking up the price of the Redmi Note S lineup. Anyway, enough with the explanations. The Snapdragon 720G CPU actually does better than the MediaTek Helio G90T in certain benchmarks. It's quite solid and that reflects in real-world usage too. We have 464 and 6128 RAM storage variants. There is dedicated microSD support. The storage is UFS 2.1 by the way. The GPU is where there is a lack of an upgrade. The Adreno 618 here is not quite as powerful as the Mali G76 MC4 from last gen. For example, it doesn't have the extreme option for frame rates. With PUBG, you only get Ultra. That said, it still can play most games. The 60Hz panel actually helps here. This is what I had to say at the end of a dedicated gaming review. The Note 9 Pro does well for a budget gaming phone. It manages to keep the heat under control fairly well, and if you're willing to sacrifice a bit on visual fidelity on the graphics, then the gameplay here, it can be very good. It can be top-notch even. Even with the higher graphic details, most games remain playable, but there are going to be a bit of frame drops, a little bit of lag, and we're going to have to contend with this from time to time. On to the software side of things, here we have MIUI 11 on top of Android 10. MIUI 11 is something most people have strong feelings about. Some love it because it brings with it a host of customization options, but others are not too fond of the heavy scanning and the plethora of ads that we often end up seeing. In my time with the Redmi Note 9 Pro, I didn't see any ads in the user interface itself, just had some of the apps send ads via notifications, which of course I had to disable notifications for, and that was that. Now, if you do like MIUI 11, or at least if you're willing to put up with MIUI 11, then the user experience on the Redmi Note 9 Pro is something you definitely will like. It's fast, it's snappy, it's stable, apps are quick to launch, and switching back and forth isn't an issue. Any RAM management issues that we had with the last generation Note 8 Pro, that's all been ironed out here. Now, as far as battery life is concerned, there's a 5020 mAh battery that Redmi have included in here, and the battery life, it's excellent. On our battery tests, the Redmi Note 9 Pro came in second, bested only by the Galaxy M31, which has a 20% higher capacity battery. Now, forget tests. With regular day-to-day usage, I rarely bothered to check if my phone was charged or not. I just carry it around. Even at 40 or 50% juice, that was enough to get me through a full day, a full work day. That's how well the combination of MIUI 11 and the 8nm 720G, how well they managed to perform here. There's an 18-watt charger that's included in the box. The charge times, they aren't very quick, but 0 to 50 in an hour and full charge in 2, it's okay. It's not fast, but it's still fast enough. And now let's get to the cameras. I do have a dedicated camera review for the Note 9 Pro, but in case you've missed that, here's a short version from that video. Okay, so let's kick things off with the primary sensor. This is a Samsung ISOCELL Bright GM2 sensor, and it is paired with the f1.79 lens. Let's take a look at some of the daylight shots. As expected, the 12 megapixel snaps, they turned out crisp with punchy colors. Redmi have even introduced a new Pro Color mode that further boosts the colors. We have a dedicated night mode, and in the low light pictures, they came out looking brighter. Yes, the post-processing, it did struggle a lot when there was very little light. There is quite a bit of noise in the images. However, once there is more light in the frame, like in this picture of the car, we get cleaner images with better detail. That being said, it's quite easy to come out with images that look fine at first glance, but once we blow it up on a bigger screen, it's evident that the shot was a little shaky. Overall, the night mode, it does have quite a bit of room for improvement. I'm not too surprised though, given Redmi has a track record of improving software over time, especially when it's a new sensor that they are working with, and the GM2 is new to Redmi. Next up, we have an 8 megapixel sensor attached to a 119-degree ultra-wide lens. Unlike the primary camera, it doesn't do as well with dynamic range, which is expected given it's a secondary ultra-wide. And you can see that in the trees, the shadows can at times appear a bit dark. Now moving on, the next option here is a macro. Redmi's upped this sensor to 5 megapixels. This is one of the best macro cameras I've come across. It can shoot subjects that are just 2 centimeters away, and it takes brighter, sharper pictures than other macro cameras out there. The fourth and final sensor on our list is a 2 megapixel depth sensing unit. This is utilized for edge detection on portrait pictures, and it is decent. We can also adjust the bokeh, and Redmi has thrown in a few filters to play around with as well. On the video side of things, the Note 9 Pro can capture 4K 30fps video, and as you guys can see, the footage, it's quite crisp, bright, vibrant colors. All that's missing is some nice stability. But to do that, we have to drop the resolution down to 1080p. At Full HD, the details are a little less prominent, especially those in the shadows look kind of crushed. But overall, the footage still has that fun, colorful vibe. And thanks to EIS, it looks a lot more stable. Once again, we can capture cinematic looking footage thanks to the movie mode. There is also an option to shoot video with a 5 megapixel macro camera. And when it comes to slow motion, we can do 960 FPS at HD resolution. And more interestingly, we can capture 120 FPS slow motion footage through the selfie camera, kind of similar to what Apple offers with their Slofies. Redmi have also, as always, included a fully fleshed out Pro mode. There's support for capturing raw images. We also have the ability to shoot footage in log format. Basically, imagine it as kind of shooting raw images, but for video. And we are back. So overall, what do we have here? A very well-rounded phone that at 13,000 rupees, Redmi, they've put together an excellent mid-ranger. Yes, the Realme 6 is definite competition, and if you want to know how the Note 9 Pro stacks up to it, here's a card to a full comparison video. But even compared to the Realme 6, the Note 9 Pro, it does have some positives, some advantages. It's got the better build, most definitely. The macro camera is better, and the battery life, it's exemplary. So at 13,000 rupees, the Note 9 Pro is definitely a phone worth considering. If Redmi can improve the low light performance a little bit, it could become more of a must buy. So that's my 2 cents on the Redmi Note 9 Pro. What about you? What do you think? Do you agree with my conclusion here? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, I guess we're at the end of this video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on whatever you felt about it. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech, and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.